How can a single bullet, traveling faster than the speed of sound, simply decide to stop? This is the central question that has turned a tragic event into a lingering national mystery, a puzzle built not just on eyewitness accounts but on the fundamental laws of physics. The official explanation of a high-powered rifle round's behavior on that day has sparked a grassroots investigation, one conducted not in a government lab but in a private workshop, aiming to test a narrative that many find difficult to believe. The investigation hinges on a detailed recreation. To test the official account, a ballistics expert used a sophisticated human simulator, a dummy crafted from materials designed to mimic human tissue and bone. At the heart of this replica is its spine, an anatomically correct column of synthetic vertebrae, complete with a simulated spinal cord. This isn't a simple prop, it's a scientific tool, engineered to react to impacts in a way that closely mirrors the human body. The specific claim being tested is precise, that a .30-06 rifle round, after hitting the neck, penetrated to the spine, was deflected by the bone, traveled downward along the cervical column, and came to a complete stop without creating an exit wound. The dummy's neck, with its realistic spinal structure, is the perfect subject to see if this sequence of events is mechanically plausible. The setup is methodical. Behind the dummy, a series of water jugs are placed. Water is an excellent medium for capturing bullets, allowing for the recovery of fragments and providing clear visual evidence of penetration. The entire experiment is designed to be as transparent as possible, creating a visual and tangible record that anyone can observe. The goal is not to speculate on motives or identities, but to focus purely on one physical question: can a human neck, specifically its spinal column, arrest the devastating energy of one of America's most common and powerful hunting cartridges? The dummy, in its silent, unnerving presence, holds the potential to either corroborate or challenge a story that has been accepted as fact. The official report presents a scenario that reads more like a medical drama than a typical ballistics report. It describes a projectile behaving in an almost sentient manner. According to the account, the bullet did not simply shatter upon impact with the spine, as one might expect. Instead, it allegedly encountered the vertebrae and then curved or deflected, channeling its remaining energy along the path of least resistance, which supposedly led it on a downward trajectory through the neck. This internal journey, the report concludes, used up all of the bullet's kinetic energy, resulting in its final lodging within the tissue, with no exit point. For law enforcement and medical officials, this explanation reconciles the lack of an exit wound with the recovery of a bullet inside the victim. It paints a picture of a freak occurrence, a one-in-a-million event where anatomy and ballistics aligned in the most unlikely of ways. This narrative was put forward to provide a complete and closed loop of evidence, a single shot, a single bullet, and a clear, if unusual, explanation for its final resting place. The authorities presented this not as a common outcome, but as a documented medical and forensic anomaly, the kind that occasionally emerges in complex trauma cases. They stood by the professional analysis of the medical personnel who treated the victim and the investigators who processed the scene. In the immediate aftermath, this was the story that settled over the public consciousness, a tragic, bizarre, but ultimately explained event. However, for those familiar with firearms and terminal ballistics, this official account immediately raised red flags. The .30-06 Springfield is not just any rifle cartridge, it is a legendary round, a cornerstone of American hunting and military history for over a century. Its performance is well documented and consistently powerful. Designed to take down large game like elk and moose, it fires a heavy bullet at a very high velocity, generating immense energy. This energy translates to profound tissue damage and deep penetration. In most real-world scenarios, a .30-06 round fired into a human torso would be expected to pass completely through, creating both an entry and an exit wound. The concept of overpenetration is a key concern with such a cartridge, referring to its tendency to go through its intended target and potentially strike something, or someone, else behind it. This established understanding is what makes the official story so difficult for many to accept. The spine, while a robust structure, is not considered an impenetrable shield against such a force. The idea that it could not only stop the bullet but also guide it on a controlled, curving path deep into the body seems to contradict the known behavior of high-velocity rifle rounds. This isn't a matter of mere opinion, it's a conflict between a singular, official claim and a vast body of accumulated practical experience. The question transforms from what happened to how can what happened be reconciled with everything we know. Faced with this contradiction, the ballistics expert behind the test adopts a position of deliberate open-mindedness. He acknowledges the vast gap between the official story and conventional ballistic wisdom, but he refuses to dismiss the possibility outright. His reasoning is nuanced. He points to the inherent unpredictability of rifle bullets upon impact. While their flight path is stable, the moment they strike a complex, heterogeneous medium like the human body, a combination of soft tissue, hard bone, air-filled spaces, and fluid, their behavior can become chaotic. Bullets can yaw, or tumble, end over end. They can fragment into multiple pieces. They can ricochet off bone in unexpected directions. There are documented cases of bullets entering one part of the body and traveling a considerable distance under the skin before exiting elsewhere. This variability is the wild card that prevents him from declaring the official narrative impossible. Furthermore, he highlights a critical piece of missing information: the exact type of ammunition used. A .30-06 cartridge can be loaded with a wide variety of bullet types, each with dramatically different terminal effects. A heavy, solid copper or full metal jacket bullet is built for deep penetration. In contrast, a lightweight bullet with a thin jacket and a soft or hollow point is engineered to expand rapidly upon impact, like a mushroom, transferring all its energy quickly into the target and minimizing penetration. If the round in question were of this latter, rapidly expanding type, the chances of it stopping inside the body would increase significantly, though stopping in the neck would still be considered highly unusual. This absence of a definitive ammunition specification leaves a door open for doubt and possibility, a small window through which the official story could theoretically still be true. The experiment is therefore designed to explore these variables. The investigator procures two distinct types of .30-06 ammunition to represent different possibilities. The first is a 180-grain full metal jacket, FMJ, round. This is a common, widely available type of ammunition, often used for target shooting and military applications. Its construction, a soft lead core surrounded by a harder copper jacket, is designed to penetrate deeply without deforming much. It is a straightforward, predictable projectile. The second round is a 150-grain Hornady ballistic tip. This is a modern hunting bullet, engineered for maximum terminal effect. Its plastic tip drives into the lead core upon impact, causing the bullet to expand into a wide, mushroom shape very rapidly. This design is intended to cause significant tissue damage and dump all of its energy inside the target, making it a more likely candidate, in theory, to be stopped by a dense object like the spine. By testing both, the investigator aims to cover a spectrum of possibilities, from the most penetrative common round to one specifically designed to expand and stop. This methodological approach elevates the test beyond a simple demonstration; it becomes a systematic exploration of the what-ifs surrounding the event. The choice of ammunition is not arbitrary, it is the central variable in a scientific attempt to replicate a controversial outcome. The first test is conducted with the 150-grain ballistic tip, the round theoretically most likely to fulfill the official narrative. The rifle is fired. The result is instantaneous and violently clear. There is no curving, no gentle deflection, and certainly no stopping. The round strikes the dummy's neck and unleashes catastrophic damage. The ballistic gel, representing tissue, is torn apart, leaving a massive, gaping cavity. The spine, the critical component that was supposed to redirect the bullet, is not merely struck, it is obliterated. A large section of the synthetic vertebrae is utterly destroyed, shattered into fragments. The bullet, having wreaked havoc on the neck and spine, continues its path, exiting the dummy and penetrating deep into the water jugs positioned behind it. The damage to the dummy is so severe that the head is nearly severed. This outcome is the polar opposite of the official account. Instead of a bullet being guided and stopped, the experiment shows a bullet destroying the very structure that was supposed to contain it. The energy transfer is not a gradual dissipation but a violent explosion of force. The water jugs behind the dummy tell the final chapter of the story. They are punctured, and inside them, the investigator finds the remains of the bullet. It has fragmented, as ballistic tips are designed to do, but its energy was more than sufficient to carry it completely through the target and into the secondary medium. The key finding is that the spine did not act as a barrier, it was simply another object in the bullet's path that was comprehensively defeated. Undeterred and seeking to eliminate any doubt, a second test is performed. With the dummy's neck already severely compromised, the investigator aims for the remaining portion of the spinal structure. This time, he uses the 150-grain full metal jacket round, the more common, penetrative ammunition. The result is, if anything, even more definitive. The FMJ round, true to its design, punches through the remaining neck and spine with ease. The exit wound on the back of the dummy is enormous, and the destructive force is so great that fragments of the synthetic spine are sent flying several feet away, littering the ground. The bullet itself passes through completely, demonstrating the deep penetrating power for which the .30-06 is famous. This second test closes a door that the first might have left slightly ajar. It shows that even with a different type of bullet, one that doesn't expand as rapidly, the outcome is not a stop bullet, but a thoroughly penetrated target. The spine, in both scenarios, proved to be completely incapable of arresting the round's motion. The physical evidence from the tests, the shattered vertebrae, the massive wound channels, the penetrated water jugs, and the recovered bullet fragments, paints a consistent and starkly different picture from the one provided in the official reports. To provide a final, grim point of reference, a third shot is fired, this time aimed directly at the dummy's head. The effect is devastating. A large portion of the skull is vaporized upon impact, with the synthetic brain matter ejected violently. The resulting damage is catastrophic, leaving the head unrecognizable. This final demonstration serves to underscore the sheer power of the .30-06 cartridge. It is a round capable of generating absolutely destructive force, a context that makes the idea of it being stopped by a few inches of neck tissue seem all the more improbable. It visually reinforces the scale of energy that the official narrative claims was safely absorbed and contained. In the aftermath of the tests, the investigator is left to reconcile his open-mindedness with the unambiguous results. He concludes that while he cannot, in absolute scientific terms, declare the official story to be impossible, the tests demonstrate that it is profoundly unlikely. He returns to his original point about the unknown variables, the specific ammunition and the unpredictable nature of bullets, as the only remaining pillars for the official account. Yet, those pillars now look increasingly theoretical, standing against a mountain of contradictory physical evidence. The tests do not reveal what did happen that day, but they cast significant doubt on the explanation that has been provided for what could have happened. The core mystery remains, but it has been transformed. It is no longer just a question about a bullet's path, but a broader question about why an official narrative seems to contradict the fundamental principles of ballistics. This disconnect is what fuels public skepticism and demands a higher standard of transparency and explanation. The search for answers, therefore, continues not in the realm of speculation, but in the clear, reproducible, and unforgiving world of empirical testing. If you found this investigation into the science behind the story compelling, subscribe for more content that seeks to understand the world through evidence.